Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another second stimulus check and second stimulus package unemployment benefits extension. Or welcome if you guys are brand new here. Welcome to have you guys join us. Consider subscribing for more. But we do have relatively breaking updates about the $2,000 stimulus check that you guys probably may have already heard about from yesterday's update. In yesterday's update, we talked a little bit about the $2,000 stimulus check. What basically is the story that went on to kind of have that, basically everything around like Trump's decision and how he responded to the stimulus package. So definitely check that out if you guys are interested and haven't seen it. I believe it has like a picture of Donald Trump pointing his finger in the thumbnail. But in today's update, we do have a brand new update about what basically has gone on with the $2,000 stimulus check. The story right now is that they've officially written the bill for the $2,000 stimulus check as of yesterday. And as of today, they've also officially voted, or we've heard them respond, and they're planning to vote next week again. But basically the idea is that today, earlier, I believe at about between 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time, we've officially gotten some feedback from the GOP, Republicans, and from the House. So that's what we're gonna basically be talking about in today's update. But before we begin, remember to smash the like button because it always does help to support this channel, and it's always greatly appreciated. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification bar for future updates on stimulus checks and on unemployment, especially about the unemployment side. And feel free to comment any questions, thoughts about really anything at all, especially by the very end, because I know that there's been a lot of drama lately about what maybe you guys think should be happening and what you guys think maybe Trump should do, or really just honestly anything at all. I do also want to say, maybe before we begin, just to give basically a huge thank you to every single person who basically comes by and supports this channel, especially almost every single day. It's always really greatly appreciated, because I think you guys are really the people that kind of keep this channel alive and going. So I really do genuinely really appreciate it, and it's always great to see familiar faces. And then I also just, I guess really quickly, want to just wish every single person hopefully a happy early Merry Christmas or Merry Christmas Eve, even though I know this might be a different kind of Christmas this year, but hopefully we're at least able to find something to try to look forward to. Alright, so with that being said, let's get started. So the current story is that they did put together the $2,000 stimulus as of yesterday, basically late at night or like around the evening time. The story is that basically Donald Trump did recently he hasn't denied, so I think there was a massive difference, and I think it's important to kind of specify, and I did explain it a little bit in the last video, that he hasn't denied it. He's kind of just put the stimulus package paused on the side. And as we've kind of mentioned, is that if he decides to do nothing and everything kind of just continues on, there's a chance that the stimulus is very likely going to pass regardless, even without him. And even if he does veto it, there's a way that they can basically override it. However, the story is that in order to have it arrive faster and smoother, he would have to sign it, so we don't have that like gap period. The story is that he was trying to preach for the $2,000 stimulus check, as most of you guys probably know. The other big thing that he was really looking to change was actually a lot about the foreign policy. Long story short is that there were a lot of things inside of that stimulus package that was meant to help other people. And the idea is that it does make sense, you know. It's really about, it comes into question is that how can you write a package that's supposed to send millions and millions of dollars to foreign countries when we can barely even survive on our own in our own country? So that really was kind of what ended up happening. So he was trying to preach for the $2,000 stimulus check. Immediately after that, Nancy Pelosi and basically a ton of Democrats really tried to preach and said, let's do it. They agreed, and that is what they really wanted to do from the very beginning. The story right now is that they officially did put together the $2,000 stimulus package, and then they took it inside this morning to basically get voted in, or certainly to basically present and talk about it. They were trying to vote on it earlier today. The long story short is, and I don't think this should have been a shock, but the GOP Republicans turned it down again, and they basically blocked it. If you guys need specific names about who specifically blocked it or who is basically opposed to the $2,000 stimulus check, you guys could probably, guess it, but basically Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy. I think Kevin McCarthy was specifically, so the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy. I think Kevin McCarthy specifically was the one that actually blocked it and stated that he didn't want to do it. And then I think Mitch McConnell, I actually think ever since Trump made that announcement, I actually think Mitch McConnell hasn't even responded yet. I think he's actually basically like fled the scene. You can basically say that he's actually been relatively quiet about it, but I think that it's assumed that he probably would not support of it, purely off of the logic that the fact that for the last couple of months, even like just 2 weeks ago, that he was already against the $1,200 stimulus check. I can't foresee him being in favor of the $2,000 stimulus check, and even more true because he hasn't actually been as vocal about it right now. So he's kind of like, I guess you can say, fled until further notices. But I do think maybe at this time, maybe that is one area we can hopefully try to feel united in, because I know that there's, of course, like lots of people that have been supporting Donald Trump, and then there's a lot of people that have been supporting the Democrats. Maybe one area that we can finally maybe just relatively try to shake hands and agree with is the fact that both Donald Trump supporters and both the Democrats are now in favor of the $2,000 stimulus checks. I know Nancy Pelosi, as we've mentioned, immediately after Donald Trump made that basically video where he preached for $2,000 stimulus checks, Pelosi and most of the Democrats, Pelosi, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, AOC, a lot of people were basically down to do it, and they were just basically saying, yes, let's do it, we'll get this done. It just really does come down to the end. The Senate Republicans, not the Senate, just the Republicans, GOP, Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, and then select people inside, they're still very, very much opposed to it. I think that when it comes to Trump's motivation for doing a lot of this stuff, some people really, I think, genuinely believe that he really is here to try to help out and support the people right now. Then there's other people that maybe believe that maybe he's doing this for publicity reasons, for the sake of helping his reputation, especially if he's going to be trying to run for president again in 2024. There's also another say that some people may think that maybe he's trying to do this to help, potentially try to help the Republicans' reputation, since he is also, keep in mind, campaigning to try to make sure that Georgia stays red in the coming election that's very, very soon. And then there's some people that maybe say that maybe he's doing this out of revenge, because the reality is that I think right now inside of the Republican Party, there are a lot of people in the Republican Party that don't even like each other. So when you really put that into perspective, I think that when your own people don't even like you, that becomes a pretty big difficulty, especially in the world of politics where people basically have to feel united and kind of support each other to actually keep and get agenda actually physically finished and accomplished. I'd basically love to maybe hear your personal thoughts about what you think Trump's motivation is behind this. Do you think he should have just signed the $600 stimulus package bill, or do you think he should have opposed it? Because keep in mind is that by not signing it, it actually wasn't just the $600 stimulus, it was also the foreign policy and funding that he was also trying to oppose. And I think that most people feel on both sides, the Republicans, Democrats, and Trump, that it probably didn't make sense to put so much foreign related material inside of it. But at this point, it may just be the sacrifice for the sake of trying to at least put something on the table right now. But keep in mind, the $600 stimulus check can still very, very much happen because it's still sitting there. And even if he vetoes it, there's a way to override it. And if he does nothing, then it'll likely become a bill, unless they just cancel negotiations, adjourn, and then just leave. But we're probably going to have to see what happens. That's really what I wanted to share in today's update. Hopefully you guys found some insight to it. I know that we maybe hoped for a lot better news, especially going into Christmas, and we were very close, but this has really just been a year full of a lot of uncertainty. So hopefully, with that being said, everyone's able to stay safe, hang on, hang tight, even though I know it's very, very difficult at this time. Just wanted to basically wish every single person a happy Merry Christmas. If I don't see you guys again, happy Christmas Eve. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Truly do thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again. Merry Christmas.